And just like that, you are back on another episode of the Soundcheck podcast.
We are
This
so
is,
back.
yeah, we are so incredibly back. This is one of your co-hosts, Adam Yokum, speaking. We are sadly not joined by our other co-host, Dylan Reese. He couldn't make it today, but luckily we are joined by a beautiful guest, a great guest, Patrick Hall.
Finally I get on here.
Up on the podcast. In case any of the listeners don't know, Pat is one of my best friends, one of my good partners in crime and music. He's a very talented mixing engineer, producer, guitar player, jokester, man of many talents. Man of many talents.
I'm a real Renaissance man.
Real Renaissance man, really paving the way out here. So any music of mine that you guys have heard from the last couple years, Pat has definitely had some sort of hand in bringing it to life. But appreciate you coming up on the pod, my guy.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
shame Dylan couldn't make it. Dylan couldn't find any time in his busy fucking schedule for me, but
Yeah, I know. It really shows where he puts you on his list, you know?
yeah, I'll remember that.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll make it up to you in some way. We'll see him here pretty soon in Columbus, so
Oh,
maybe
true.
have him buy you a coffee or something.
I actually owe him for a coffee.
I owe him for a
I
coffee.
still owe
too.
him for a coffee.
We both owe him
From
for
like
a
3 weeks ago, or probably 2 weeks ago in Salt Lake City, I still owe him for a coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing post tour? You settling in? You good back home?
I am, yeah. It's been nice to be back home and get to hang out with Liv and Loki and it's my cat for anybody who might think that I have someone in my family named Loki. It's been nice settling back into taking sessions, doing some stuff in the studio, taking a drive just on my own. Just
Yeah.
that disconnect of being on tour and being in the van for like what it was 2 weeks this time and there was 6 of us in there. We're just with each other all day, every single day. When you get home, it's nice to even just like fuck off and go to Lowe's by yourself for like half an hour and just like have some decompression and some quiet. It's nice. Yeah. How
Just
about
like
you?
not be on a schedule at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I want to
Yeah.
spend 45 minutes in Lowe's, I can do it.
Yeah. 100%. How about you? How have you been readjusting to being back?
A lot of the same. Just feels good to have some breathing room and just whatever, do whatever you want, not being on
We
a
make it
schedule.
sound like coming back home from war. Like
Yeah.
like waking up in the middle of the night, like who's got the keys? Fuck!
Who's got the van keys?
Yeah.
God, dude, how many times do you think that question was asked on tour?
Dude, I felt Sean like it was the second to last day of tour. You know how when you ask Sean something and he's like in the middle of dealing with some shit, he'll like put his hand on your sholdder and be like, "Brother, I love you." That's like his preface for the statement.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
he was fired up the last time that I asked him for the keys. I was like, "Yo, man, do you know?" I didn't even ask him for the keys. I was like, "Yo, man, do you know where the keys are?" I think as soon as he heard like the K consonant sound for keys come out of my mouth, he's like, "Brother, I love you, but I don't know where those fucking keys are. You got to stop asking me." And I'm like, "All right, man. Like, okay, my bad. No problem.
Well,
Heard."
dude, there were 6 of us, and we just kept like trading off who had the keys.
Yeah.
So you never know. It was always a big
It,
mystery.
it was usually Sham.
It was usually Sham.
Sham usually had the keys.
Yeah. By the end of the tour, which it was too little, too late. I think it was
Yeah.
like in Phoenix or something. I gave them to Urban, and I was like, "You are now the keeper of the keys."
The keeper of the keys, Urban Soul.
But yeah, keeper of the keys, Urban Soul.
Are
But
we bringing Urban, not to like discuss our personal plans on here or anything? I'm sure it's pretty boring for people to listen to, but are we bringing Urban back? Are we kidnapping him from Boston and bringing him to West Virginia?
oh yeah, we're gonna kidnap him.
So
Yeah,
he's gonna get a week-long tour to Appalachia, and then we're just gonna fuck off to Nashville
yeah,
with him.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
He's gonna
All
come to
right.
Nashville with us. So, me and Dylan actually talked a little bit about Urban on the podcast that should come out before this. So at this point, the listener should be introduced to who Urban is. But if
Yeah.
not, he did some photo video work for us on the tour that we just got off of, and he's local to Boston. So we got a Boston show coming up. We're gonna kidnap the boy and take him back to the mountains with us.
He's
And
never been here. He
he's
knows
never been
nothing
here.
of it.
We're gonna take him frog gigging, truck sliding, mud sliding,
Truck sliding.
uh, freaking. I lost my train of thought here.
Hooting, hollering, the lot of
Hog
it.
pinning, frog gigging, all these things. We're gonna take him on the big Appalachian extravaganza.
Adam, have you ever gone hog pinning?
Oh yeah, we used to hog pen all the
Oh, we
time.
used to hog pin all the time. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we always used to hog
17 times, right?
17 times.
17 times. Yeah.
No, not big on the hog pinning, but there is like a county fair that goes on down here, and they do have like a greased hog, and there's a competition where like all the
You gotta go
kids
catch
try to
'em.
like they try to wrangle the hog. So I guess that's hog pinning.
I don't know, man. I was that just highlights the differences in where someone grows up in this state. Because like when I was younger, I was about some like get in the mud, like get dirty, just like little boy shit, running around like just being a dirt gremlin.
Yeah.
If someone would have presented a greased swine to me and the fellas and been like, "Go get him," there's absolutely no shot, dude.
Really? You guys wouldn't have gone?
There's no chance I would have gone after that. I would have been like, nope.
Damn.
That's a little too rural for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were definitely chasing hogs.
Yeah. Down Elkins Way.
Yeah, down
Yeah.
Elkins Way. We were chasing
Down
hogs,
Elkins Way.
which sounds like a great band name.
Chasing hogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
For anybody that might be curious about a long list of band names that Adam and my wife and I have come up with over the past couple years now.
Yeah.
I still think the undefeated, like we'll hear like a turn of phrase or something like that and just be like band name, dope band name. I still think the undefeated one is Thickening Agent.
Thickening Agent is great.
Thickening
Yeah.
Agent cannot be beat. That one's
Thickening
so
Agent
good.
Cannot
It's got to be like
beat.
and if it were to ever be a band, it would have to be like a funk band.
Yeah.
Either a funk band or like a devastatingly like low and slow like metal band.
Yeah.
One of the two. One of the two for
Thickening
sure.
Agent. Dude,
Yeah.
and it's so great whenever you haven't heard those two words together in a long time and then someone pulls it out, just like, it's a
I
thickening
mean,
agent.
unless you're into like culinary shit, talking about xanthan gum, you're probably not going to be running across the phrase thickening agent too often.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
It's kind of
not-
an industry term.
Yeah, it's definitely an industry term.
We were talking about Elkins a minute ago. Down Elkins, I bluffed bad this past weekend. Didn't come to the Ramp Festival. Can you
Yep.
maybe tell me about some of the goings on that I may have missed?
Yeah, I know
Should
you
we
didn't come
explain?
down.
Should we explain the Ramp Festival?
Yeah, so there's a festival in Elkins, West Virginia that's called the Ramp Festival, and essentially a ramp is like a plant that's pretty native to the Appalachian Mountains. Like I think it only grows here and like maybe two other places in the world. But it's essentially kind of a mix between like an onion and like a garlic, and it's kind of like a root, like it has like a bell in the dirt that you dig up, and
Yeah.
you can eat it by itself. It's kind of different from an onion or a garlic because I wouldn't just grab an onion and eat it like that. But ramps,
Right.
I go out and like dig them up from the dirt and just eat them like that.
Did
like,
you
almost
ever eat
an
like
apple.
wild green onions though? Like taking a bite out of like a yellow onion or a red onion or a white onion is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like even as like a lad running around, like you're gonna come across some wild green onions, you might pop one in.
I don't know if I've ever done that.
I feel like that's much easier to conceptualize than just like grabbing like a yellow
Okay.
or a white onion and just yamming it. I mean, because I agree with you. Like ramps, you can eat them just in their like natural like forage state or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're actually not bad. They're pretty
maybe
intense.
Maybe onions are the same way, but I just haven't had like just wild onions like that.
Either way, it's not something that you want to have like. If kissing is anywhere near close in your schedule, no,
It's
no.
not a kissing fruit.
It's not a kissing fruit, not at all.
So a
hard.
ramp, yeah, you can make them a lot of ways. You can just eat them out of the dirt, or you can just kind of like cook them by themselves. You can like kind of steam them.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of like chop them up like a garlic or an onion, and you can cook them into other foods.
Yeah.
So they have a very short blooming time or harvesting time. It's only like 3 weeks in the spring, maybe a month in the spring when you can like go and get them out of the ground. So there's a local like food festival where all the local restaurants and whatever people that have food trucks, they set up and they make their food with ramps in them essentially.
Yeah.
And everyone gets together and they have a good good West Virginia time eating some ramps. But Patrick, yeah, you couldn't make it. You couldn't make it. The rain seemed to deter you.
Well, first of all, Elkins is what, as the crow flies, about an hour and a half from Morgantown.
Yeah.
So already right there, that's 3 hours committed in the car.
Yep.
Less than what, 4 days after we got back from driving 7,700 miles in a 12-day span.
Yep.
That on top of the rain, nope. And it was a decision that I made when I woke up. Like I was barely awake. Liv woke me up and she was like getting ready. She had to take her grandmother to a hospital appointment or something, like a doctor's appointment. And she had to go down there early anyway. So she woke me up and she was like, "Hey babe, like it's time to get up, get ready. We're going to go meet our friends." Cause we had friends going that day. You saw Ben, but you probably didn't see Nick and Sam running around too.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm like rolling around on the couch, barely awake. I'm like, "Oh, banquet time, huh?
Oh, I'm drinking a Coors Banquet. Yeah.
Oh, couldn't invite your boy to the banquet, huh?
Oh, sorry, buddy. I didn't know that you had any.
A
You had
real
banquets
son
in
of
the
a
crib?
bitch you are." No, I don't. I have nothing. I have like
I'd love to have you at the banquet.
I have a bottle of Kahlua, and I'm not going to go grab that.
Okay.
Just ripping shots of Kahlua on here would be a little bit nuts.
This is gonna be
No,
real
but
confusing for the audio listeners.
yeah, yeah.
just me and you drinking, looking at each other. Ah.
No, but I did. I bailed out on Elkins. I did not want to drive down there in the rain. And from what I understand, I missed. You can put that thing on silent there, bud.
Yeah,
What are
my
you
bad.
doing?
My bad.
Holy shit!
Phone's on silent now. I
It's
actually
okay.
the first ding I thought it was yours,
Uh-uh.
but then the second one I realized that was my phone.
No, no,
My
no.
bad. My bad to all the good
Not
folks.
not when I'm a guest on my buddy's podcast. I would never have my
Yeah,
phone ring.
that's my bad. Hey, apologies to all the good folks at home listening. I had a couple dings go off on the phone.
Couple banquets,
Um,
couple things.
Couple banquets and a couple dings. So
Yeah.
yeah, the drive, the 3 hour round trip drive after getting home from
You did.
tour, definitely is not an appealing thing to think about. And the
It's a
rain on
deterrent.
top of that, yeah. And ramps are good, but maybe they're not like fight through the storm type of activity for you at this point. So
Not for me. No.
Yeah.
No, I did I did get to enjoy some of the spoils though. We went down to Bridgeport that evening and hung out with our friends and they gave us like ramp butter, ramp pesto, ramp salt, like all this ramp infused stuff. So
yeah,
we got taken care of.
good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. In the rain, it would rain for a little bit, it would sprinkle, and then it would clear up. But so it wasn't too big of a deal, but it was still a good time. There were a ton of people in town. The Ramp Festival has become much, much larger than what it started off as.
Yeah.
Like even just a few years ago, it was like it was like maybe like 8 food trucks and like a couple hundred people, like the town would kind of come alive a little bit. Now, bro, they had like a whole like 2 blocks like blocked off. There was, I don't even know what, maybe 45 food trucks, like people from all out of town. I talked to these 2 people and they were like, yeah, like we're from DC, like we just kind of drove in for this.
Really?
So it seems to be becoming a much bigger thing.
Hell yeah, man.
I also saw I didn't realize how valuable ramps were. Like I saw that there's like restaurants in DC and shit that are buying ramps by the pound or whatever. And it was like a lot of money. I can't remember the exact number, but it was like $45 a pound of ramps or something. And like
Um, well, I mean, just to piggyback off that, I mean, super, super exciting regional exclusive food talk here. But Morels, I saw that you were fucking around with some Morels the other day.
yeah,
That's
found some
that's
morels.
that's a seasonally specific thing too, right?
Yeah, in the spring.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep,
yeah.
very similar. Um Dude, those are so good. I posted that video where I had picked some morel mushrooms, and I think a lot of people didn't know what they were because a lot of people slid up on the story and they're like, "Fuck
Right.
yeah, dude, you're tripping out, like, cheers to the party or whatever."
You're like, no,
I
these
think,
are a side dish, dude.
yeah, yeah, no, these are a side dish. I'm gonna put these in a pan with some butter later on.
Yeah, I've
But
never had them.
oh damn, really?
Never had them.
Whoa. See, I wouldn't
Fried
expect that out of you.
Morels.
Fino tails. They're good, dude. Yeah, you kind of just put them in a pan with some butter and salt and pepper in there. They're
There you
tasty.
go. There you go.
Um, I remember they're kind of hard to find. You got to just know where to look. But my dad, whenever we were young, he had like a little Jack Russell type of dog,
Mm-hmm.
and he tried to teach the dog to like smell mushrooms and go find them. He said it.
Almost like they teach pigs to like hunt truffles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
He said it didn't really work, but just
Damn.
wanted to share that for some reason. Um,
I enjoyed it.
yeah. I don't, what
I'm
other
glad you
regional
shared it.
food? Do we have any other regional foods other than
Yeah,
ramps and
dude.
morel
Fucking
mushrooms?
pepperoni rolls. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah. That is like the crown
The
jewel.
regional food. Yeah.
That is the regional food.
Yeah.
Pepperoni rolls. I had a pepperoni roll on Friday.
I'm not
A,
crazy about them, dude. I'm a
a
bad
late
West
night.
Virginian. I don't give a shit about those or chili dogs. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
I don't give a shit about chili dogs. I'll
I don't
say
give a
it.
shit about chili dogs. No, thank you.
Um, I had a sneaky late night pepperoni roll on Friday.
Did you?
We were out drinking, and I got hungry,
Did
but
you have any big timber night?
I had a big timber night. Yeah,
Big timber.
big timber night.
Yeah.
Um, Snuck across the street to the gas station and got a late night gas station pepperoni roll. It
What are
was
we
bad.
talking? Zio's, Abruzino's. What kind of bakery are we talking here?
I don't know. I
Country
don't know.
Club. You just grabbed
What
the
do you?
first thing you saw with the Italian flag on it, and you're like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much. It said
Yeah.
yeah, pepperoni roll with hot cheese.
Nice.
I've been dabbling into the spice a little bit. You know that's big for
You
me.
know what? I'm gonna give you a lot of credit here, Adam. This past tour, I saw you reach for spicy items, whether it was a dip, whether it was any sort of like condiment, like a loose pepper shaving. Like you even tried in LA. You had honey habanero wings
I did.
or
Yeah,
tenders rather. Yeah,
tenders.
yeah,
Yeah. And you
yeah.
know how I am with the spice. Normally I don't get anywhere near it.
Black pepper will rough you up, dude.
Yeah, black pepper could beat my ass.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you know what it was? You you hit a big reset button on me
With what?
in Seattle.
In
Those
Seattle?
those late night wings.
What late night wings did we have in Seattle?
Remember we were driving back to that like 80s Airbnb and I was like drunk in the back seat cuz we went out after the show
Wait,
and
no, I'm thinking of something else.
you had some sort of chicken that tasted like hell in a bag. Like it was so
Oh, no, it wasn't wings, it was hot chicken. Yeah, we got hot chicken from somewhere, and I got, like, the fire 'em up, which was, like, the second to last. Because
yeah.
it wasn't like Dave's or anything. I hate that this whole episode's about fucking food, but, like, I had Dave's, like, the night before with you guys in Portland, and then in Seattle, we got it from just some, like, mom and pop place around the corner, but I decided to kinda stretch myself a little bit, and I went with the second to last heat, like the spice level or whatever, and it was tough,
Yeah.
dude. It fucked me up.
It was really hot. It fucked me up
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
But I was having a
dude.
good
Oh
time,
yeah,
you know?
you were in the back of the van with your shirt off. You took your shirt off after eating those, dude. I looked up
Dude, 'cause
and
it
you were
was
like on the
so
side of me,
hot.
just like shirtless, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like,
Dude, it was so hot. It was so spicy, it, like, made me sweat. It made me feel like I had heat radiating off of me.
yeah.
I had no other option but to take my shirt off. I had to take my shirt off.
I don't think I've ever been in the
And
throes
also
of
there were,
hot
like,
food
no
so badly
windows
that I took my
down.
shirt off.
Really?
Yeah, ever, not once.
I get, like, a little claustrophobic feeling. If I'm too hot, I get very claustrophobic where it's like everything has to get away from me, get off of me. Like,
You
dude,
have like the same, yeah.
if I was sweating and someone came up and like hugged me too tightly, I would probably freak out a little bit. Like I get claustrophobic specifically when I'm hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're on a time delay again, dude.
No, it just lags a little bit. I think we're good.
Are you
As long
sure?
as you can hear me,
Okay.
we're good.
I I
Yep.
can hear you.
Yeah,
It's
we're
just
good.
like I'm like responding to you at certain times, and I think like it comes in as like I'm cutting you off, and you just stop for a second. I
Mm.
don't know. Maybe our rhythm's just off.
Oh, maybe that's just our conversation
Yeah,
being
yeah.
off.
Maybe that's just us, man. Maybe we've lost our step here.
Yeah. Well, let's take a turn from the food conversation. Maybe let's gear the conversation back in another direction here.
Yeah, let's
Um,
do it.
can you tell me a little bit about what Patrick Hall is looking forward to in 2026 as far as like music endeavors?
Hopefully more tours. One thing that you did not touch on in your wonderful introduction is I do play guitar for you live. In addition to all
Yes.
the studio shit that we do together. So hopefully some bigger tours, big shows, playing in front of people, getting back out on the road again. That'll be fun because we have an absolute just vault and a half of music ready for everybody. I think we're sitting on like literally over 40 songs right now or something. It's a shitload,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
It's a lot.
Multiple projects worth. So getting that stuff out. We haven't talked about our boy Sean much, but we're both kind of taking more of a step with him as far as releasing everything. I'm excited to see how that goes. Honestly, this summer I'm looking forward to just doing some outdoor West Virginia shit, like having fun outside. Last summer we were playing shows a lot and pretty busy, so some downtime in my favorite season of the year this year will be nice. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Yep.
agree, dude. The West Virginia summers are great. Um,
Kayaking,
yeah,
hiking,
dude.
doing fun shit like that.
Yep. Hopefully more tours in the future for us. I think as you know, as I talked to you about, I'm probably gonna take a little bit off while we're just putting out this new music, try to get
Yeah.
the vault of songs on the go, you know?
Yep.
Seems like the music, will never does any good just sitting on your hard drive, you know? So what's the
Certainly not.
saying? Whatever you say, it's like a hit song is no good if it's just on your computer. So, um,
Damn right.
trying to just get the music out to people and try to spend some time making sure we're doing it in the right way as well, because we could just like drop a shit ton of music while we're touring and while we're doing a bunch of other shit, but I feel like it would just take a hit on the branding of it all, like the music videos and cover art and just
Yeah.
meaning and execution, when you're moving too fast, it's like shit falls between the cracks.
That's one thing that I've always really enjoyed about, especially these last couple years, like in the evergreen water your roots kind of phase of things, is you've done a really good job of making sure that each song kind of has its own moment. And when you're touring, it's really tough to make that shit happen.
Really, really tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, and another thing that have been thinking a lot about with the music is, so with the Water Your Roots and the Evergreen rollout, my like timeline to get songs out was like a song a month, and then
Hmm.
sometimes it would even be like a song every 6 weeks, like a song every month and a half. And
Yeah.
that really gave a lot of time to like plan out music videos and just kind of have like a direction with everything. But I also like recently just became aware of like a negative side to that, I think. And there's like a couple step process to like whenever you make a song, you know how like whenever we make a song, as soon as we're done making it or like a couple days around it, we're like super super fired up about it. Like can't stop
Yeah.
playing it.
So it's
It's
like
on
a relationship. It's like a honeymoon period.
Yeah, there's a honeymoon period. You're like kind of
Yeah.
drunk. You're like drunk on your own song. And
Yeah.
then, a few weeks after that, it kind of loses steam in your life. You focus on other things. And then by the time the song comes out, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, this song. And I feel like whether it's subconscious or whether it's a decision or whatever, I feel like my energy in promoting the music is falling short of what it would have been had I just made the song and put it out 2 weeks later.
So you're talking about maybe just like kind of capturing that essence of like that window of time in terms
Exactly.
of it, like from start to finish, as well as like release.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Like
gonna say, do you not feel like part of the litmus test of like what a great song is to us nowadays? Like the cabin trips, for instance, when we go on those cabin trips and take like a long weekend and end up, I think like what the last 2 weekends we spent with Dom and Taylor in a cabin have given us like 14 songs.
yeah.
So like we have those songs that we're like we said, super fucking stoked about, and we listen to constantly and just drill them and drill them and drill them and drill them and drill them because we're just like looking back and reflecting on it, like, oh my God, these songs are hitting really hard. And then you set it down, that afterglow kind of honeymoon period subsides. But there are songs, and I feel like for me, at least for me, this is how it is that I know that we have something like genuinely like unfuckwithable, for lack of a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Like Caution, the song Caution that we have. It doesn't matter. Like, I think the longest I've gone without listening to it is probably like 2 months since we made it back in October. And even after that 2 months, when I got back to it, that chorus comes in and I'm like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
this is it, man. Like, so do you feel like that kind of ties into your strategy with when you decide to release something, or I don't know. I
I
find
would
that
say
interesting.
yeah, I would say so, like, that at least ties into my feeling of, like, how
Yeah,
special is this song?
right.
Because, we make a lot of music, and there are just bound to be songs that are, like, more standout than others.
Yeah,
And I would say that's a really good litmus test, like, if you can get if it's, like, 3 months after you made it and you're still every time you put it on, like, "Holy shit, this is sick," then
yeah.
you've made it out of that, like, honeymoon phase, like, you're not just liking it because it's, like, recency bias or whatever, it's
Sure.
like,
Yeah,
"This is
yeah, yeah.
actually sick."
Yeah.
Um, I guess what I was talking about is, like, whenever I make a song or whenever I'm in that, like, honeymoon phase, I can like, even outside of the song, I feel like I have more abundant ideas about, like, the music video could look like this, or I could do, like, this type of content, and, like, maybe people would relate to it if I got it in this, like, community or whatever, like, oh, people that enjoy Harry Potter would like this weird song I'm making. And I feel like those ideas are fresh on my head in my mind, like, whenever the song is new as well. I just feel like
Hmm.
from a promotional like, we're putting the song out, we're delivering it, we're showing it to people. Sometimes by that time, I'm already on to, like, what new song I'm making, and
You've
I have to
lost
go
steam with it from
yeah,
like your marketing brain is kind of not as efficient as it would be as it would be if it were closer to when the song were made.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
have to,
yeah.
like, revert
Makes
back
sense.
and be like, "Yeah, like, what was I thinking about, putting this song out?" Because whenever I'm writing a song, a lot
Right.
of it is, like, taking some like, idea and then, like, constraining it down into details, where, like, the actual idea of the song is a lot bigger than the song itself is. So all the marketing shit is, like there's actually more shit to think about with the marketing side of it than it is the song itself, because
Yeah.
the idea
Yeah.
is bigger, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is for me is, like, I just find myself a lot like, I have to go back in time and be like, "What was I thinking about putting this one out?" You know? I don't know. Just
I
a
don't think I've never considered that perspective. I mean, obviously, I don't release my own music, so it's not something that I would think about. But that's interesting to hear about.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
how many times have you and I talked? I mean, just for anybody listening, I've spent the better part of a decade working with independent artists, mainly as like my full time job, whether it's production or engineering. Adam, as you know, um, most of the time, I would say that this is a pretty like very true thing that you and I have both run into with friends of ours. Especially here in West Virginia where things are a little bit more isolated from industry resources where that you would have like in Nashville, LA, Atlanta, New York, so on. By the time that your song is done, you've worked your ass off in the studio, whether you recorded, mixed, mastered it yourself or sent it to someone like me or upstreamed it to, another person to be able to take care of XYZ sonically for you. The song is done. You've got it ready to upload to your distribution service, and it's going to be on Spotify in 2 to 4 weeks if you're doing your job the right way, hopefully. I know some people just drop shit on distro like 2 days before they want it to go on Spotify, but by the time that your song is uploaded, before it comes out to the public, what would you say, 10-15% of your job is done?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's so many other hats that you have to wear, like, in terms of, like, marketing, promoting, branding, tying it together, like, any central theme or message to it. Like, there's so much more that needs to be thought about, and that's again, not to, like, turn this into a glaze fest, that's one thing that I've really noticed that you have had a very strong success in so far, and I think the other people around us have really recognized that too. Like, there's no confusion about what your brand is, who you are as an artist, and that's always gonna be fluid, like you're not going to be the same person 2 albums from now that you are right now. But at the same time, it's probably not going to be a massive departure in terms of who you are and like the core message.
Yeah.
That's, I think, tough for a lot of people to really nail down because all they're concerned about is how do I get something that sounds sick as fuck out?
Yeah.
They don't care how it
Yeah.
looks, how it's packaged. I mean, the amount of times that you and I have talked about simple things like someone will give me artwork for a single and I'm like, "Hey, where'd you get this artwork done?" They're like, "I did it myself." And I'm like, "No shit." Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Looks
gotta,
like
like,
shit.
you have to do things in a way that, like, that's competitive because of consumer bias. They're gonna see things, and oftentimes, the cover art, that's the first thing that hits somebody, or, like, the visual on Instagram or TikTok. Like, if it's not just as good as the quality of the music, it's gonna create a bias on behalf of any audience that sees it, whether it's someone that's in your follower base or not, and they're gonna immediately either accept it or discredit it based on its comparative value to them in terms of, competitive industry releases or
Yep.
visuals or what have you.
Yep.
If I'm making sense there.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, dude, like you said, the job is 10% done when you hit upload
yeah,
on the song. You have to
yeah,
get it in front of people or else I don't wanna say it doesn't mean anything because obviously, like, you can just make music and not be trying to, like, grow an audience and da 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 da, and it can still
right,
mean something.
yeah.
But if this is your goal to, like, build a career out of this, to grow followers, to tour, then your song doesn't mean anything until you get it in front of people, if that's what your goal is. Just
Like,
having the song doesn't mean anything.
you have to be aware of the fact that in terms of, like, market saturation, every single day, not Tuesdays, not Fridays, every single day of the week. There are on average 100 I think the last time I looked, it was 122.7 thousand songs released on DSPs daily, which is a staggering statistic,
And
but
it's growing. It's growing
the
all the time
oh,
still.
and it will continue to grow. You got things like
Yeah.
BandLab, like, you could basically go from your phone straight to DSPs now. Whether or not the quality is gonna be great is kind of up to interpretation, but some audiences don't give a shit about that anymore, which is, frightening for people like me, but, um, another really wild statistic that could be kind of a silver lining for some people is that within that 122,000 songs released a day and everything that's out there just cumulatively on DSPs, if you have I think I read if you have more than 1,000 streams on a song, 1,000. So if you have 1,001 streams on a song, you live in the 1% of highest performing tracks, and that spectrum goes from you at 1,001 plays all the way up to Taylor Swift. Like, that's pretty wild.
That's insane. That's insane.
The barrier to entry with vocally centered music is non-existent now. It's
Yep.
it's absolutely wild. Like, and I think that that's a good thing because even though you're gonna have a lot of people that are just like dicking off and putting stuff on BandLab and just trying it out with no formal training, no real care about blowing up. They just want to put something out. Like, there's going to be a lot of stinkers out there because of that. But if that gives way to somebody who didn't have to scrabble and cobble together like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of pro audio gear like I did when I was 17, trying to make metal songs and trying to play Warped Tour straight out of high school, these tools being so readily available for seemingly cents on the dollar now, like, that's going to open up the doorway to, yes, a lot of bullshit, crappy stinker songs, but there's also going to be some people that are going to find their way into a career path that they never otherwise would have been able to enter into.
Yeah.
And we could end up with generational talents because of that one day. Because even though they're a diamond in the rough now, they get a few songs out on BandLab. They get a few people kind of catch emotion with those, and then all of a sudden they find a development deal and they're the next big thing. Like that
Yeah.
shit is gonna happen now.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to me.
It changed a lot about just the possibilities. Not only for it changed a lot for the possibility of people that the barrier to entry of like showing your music to somebody. And I wouldn't say all of it is like a positive. I think largely it is a positive because if you think back to like I mean, I was just a kid, so maybe I'm like talking on things that I don't know a ton about, but in like the 2010 era,
Yeah.
2000 to 2015, it feels like there was a lot of like record label gatekeeping that was going
Dude,
on.
you couldn't get on fucking iTunes until like 2015. I'm
Yep.
pretty, or it was somewhere around that time, like the mid 2010s, that aggregation services became a thing,
Yeah.
like generally available to the public.
And there's a lot of like there was a lot of like record labels like just barrier to entry where now
Oh
it's
yeah,
like you can record a song hell, you can record a song on your phone and then with the same phone you can make a TikTok video and you can
yep,
go viral with it and have millions of people with their eyes on your music. That was never ever possible before. Which
right.
in one hand like you said is like a really good thing because there's probably people out there that in the old structure never would have broke through. Like they never would have. They could be incredible talents and just never break through.
Yeah,
So
you got a lot of
that's
people
why
that go
I think
ahead.
it's a great thing. Um I do think there's like parts of it that the like music industry has suffered from and a big one is touring. I think touring has become like a whole like much harder. And I think we may have talked about this a little bit, but people are like able to be fans of more artists now. Like with
Right.
streaming, back in the day you had to go buy a CD and then it was a whole process to get to an artist's music. You had to hear about them some way, your friends, you had to go buy their CD, you had to put it in your CD player in your car, whatever it may
Yeah,
be. And then you had to like listen through their whole album. Where now you can just, check out one song from any artist on Spotify, and I feel like it's made it where now when you talk to people about what artists they listen to, if you would have asked someone in 2005, "What artists do you listen to?" I feel like most people would have given you a list of, like,
similar artists.
similar artists, and it would have been a small list.
That's what I'm
Like
saying. A lot of overlap. Yeah,
yeah, a lot of
yeah,
overlap, it would have just been, like, maybe 15 artists. Now you could open any given person's Spotify playlist, and there's probably hundreds of different
dude.
artists in there.
It's crazy. So when you talk about that, it makes me think back to, and I'm going to age myself here. I remember going to FYE when I was younger, or like Walmart, or even Target, and this was like before smartphones. Like I was in like middle school, and I would go, or even elementary school too, because I was like super into rap music, super heavily into like crazy hard rap music when I was young. I
Uh-huh.
would walk around FYE, and like the internet was a thing. Like I'm not like that old, but it I didn't know enough about the internet to go and like discover music on there. Like the only like viable social media platform at this time was MySpace. Facebook was like just barely becoming a thing, and it wasn't a music destination online.
Right.
MySpace kind of had a little bit more of that. But you would go to FYE and walk around, and you would, find sections, usually genre-based sections, or like they would have like a who are the radio hit artists right now. Like they would have things kind of sectioned off for you, so that way you could like discover new art. Like there was no Discover Weekly, there was no Spotify. You
Right.
would go into FYE and you would get it out the fucking mud, and you would find a physical CD, and you would assess it, look at it, maybe see some features that are like some common artists that you like. That's how I found about Busta Rhymes. That's how I found about Ludacris, Exhibit, like all these different satellite artists that weren't necessarily the biggest thing yet, but they all ended up like blowing up like crazy. Like I would go and just seek out all of these different like rap artists that I had never heard of, and just buy CDs, spend $12. You'll catch some L's, but I found out about a lot of artists that I still listen to today from doing that. And now it's wild because you'll have, on the inverse of that, you'll say, a 15-year-old kid goes and hears a song wherever, and then they go and look up the Spotify. They may look at the Instagram. And what's wild is not everybody, but I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that are in the younger like listener group that if they hear an artist and the artist sounds dope, they may go and look the artist up on Instagram or look them up on Spotify. And if they don't have a certain amount of followers and they don't like pass that like prerequisite qualification for how lit they are or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like they may pass them off. They may not even like
Yeah.
listen to their shit.
Right.
Like that is wild to me. That's
Yeah.
so wild.
Yep.
And it's not everybody. I don't mean to paint with a broad brush, like especially like I'm not like damn kids. Like, it's
No, but it
nothing like
happens.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. And dude, just listening to you telling that story about the FYE and everything, listen to how much of a process that was, that you remembered every step of, we
Oh,
went to
dude,
the
I got
store,
ready
it
that
was on
day.
the
I
shelf.
told my mom like, "Hey, while you go do your thing at Sally Beauty Supply, I'm gonna go and get me a couple new CDs." Like it was something
Right.
I looked forward to.
And you remember that, dude, and you know it was 10 to 12 bucks. I found Busta Rhymes here. Nowadays, dude, any new artist, if I just ask you, how'd you hear about them? I don't know. They popped up on my For You page. They were on
Yeah,
my
they were
Discover.
on a TikTok.
They were on a TikTok. It's so less
See, that
exciting.
that is us
So
being like,
less.
ah.
Dude, but it's true. It's true.
Our way
It's
was
so
better.
less. Yeah. It's so less of a process, though. There's no
Yeah,
process to find the music,
it's
which
way there's way less romanticism involved in it now.
way less romanticism. So yeah, the barrier to entry of music being broken down is a great thing because there's people that, get their shit out
But
there that never would
we
have,
talk
but
about the barrier of entry. This was something I wanted to touch on earlier. The barrier of entry is non-existent for vocal-centric artists.
yeah.
Like, I picked up a guitar. I don't make my own music other than just like instrumental shit. For anybody that's listening doesn't really know me. I came into music as a 14-year-old wanting to play Avenged Sevenfold songs and My Children, My Bride songs. And then eventually I got into like super hardcore music. And like I was always about that. Like that's all I wanted to do. When I was in high school, I played in metal bands. And then I ended up being able to do that like professionally for a while and tour and be in a band that was signed to a label and all that shit. You can't go and pick up a guitar or you can't say that like, oh, I'm in a band and put out music unless you're implementing AI or you're using like type beats that like IOF, the foreign bros.
Yeah.
Shout out IOF.
Yeah.
We love our foreign
We love
bros.
that guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He makes like Bring Me the Horizon type beats, Linkin Park type beats. Like those are instrumentals that can allow somebody to put vocals down on them, but you can't go and say like I have a band. I have a coalition of bros that we're going to just put out music. Unless everybody knows how to play their instrument, you can't just put that music out. So the barrier to entry is non-existent for vocally centered artists, but it's still the same thing for like people who want to go and start a band. And I don't know what point I'm trying to make here. I'm not saying like one's better or one's worse. It's just it's interesting how one is kind of remained true in terms of like your ability to do the damn thing, and the vocally centered stuff is
Yeah.
just like so cracked wide open.
Yep, and I think I don't know if this is what you're trying to say. Maybe this is what the big point was, but I think what at least I got from that was in this whole world of everything being like super accessible and super easy for vocals,
Yeah,
and especially what we were saying, 120,000 songs every Saturday uploaded or whatever that number is,
every single day.
every single day,
Yeah,
120,000. I
yeah,
think that and what we're getting at here is the big winners, like, if you look at what artists and who's gonna prevail over the next 5 to 10 years, you have to have a way to be unique and stand out in the fog of everything else going on. And if that fog of uniqueness maybe that's a great prediction is that bands are gonna make a big swing and come back in popularity because I feel like for a while, the
they're
band
starting to a
culture.
little bit.
Yeah,
They're starting to a little bit. I think the band
because it's
culture
always
really
like
died off for a while, but
yeah, it's always like whatever everything comes in fucking waves and up and downs. If band culture died off and the wave of whatever AI and everything going on, it's always bound to come back. I feel like in some way or another.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, when we say band culture died off, I mean, there's going to be some people that would really turn their nose up to that. But I mean, there's always bands. There's always going to be pockets of people doing what it is that they do and holding true to that. But I think what we're describing is like how popular it is with the mainstream.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there were years just here in Morgantown, there were years that like I didn't see shows at 123 that were being booked that were like local bands, like, college bands, indie groups, like rock and roll groups, whatever the case may be, metal, punk. There were far way, 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 way less of them than there were when I was playing in local bands like around like 2013, 2014. Like there were a shitload of local bands in Morgantown at that point in time. Even like the tri-state area, like Tri-County area, people would come from like Clarksburg, whatever the case may be. PA, we had a whole bunch of hardcore PA bands. It died off for a little while. And I think that was like when like EDM started to make like a really big splash, like locally. You know what I mean? Like there were a lot of people that were becoming DJs and things like that.
Yeah.
And there were a lot more local rappers. That was like in the Gandhi and like Blockstar kind of era of like music around here. Those shows were kind of dominating the live space locally, and it wasn't as many bands. Where now we're seeing like what's that one band that plays in WVU a lot? That they're called like Seneca or something like that.
I've heard of them. Yeah, I've heard of them. I don't know much
Yeah.
about them though.
I saw them live once. They opened up for a stand-up comedian that I'm friends with. Shout out Colin Doyle. Shout out the band Seneca. You guys rule. Very cool to see. And like I've seen like on their Instagram, like they're playing like frat parties. They're playing big block parties here in Morgantown, and like students are like packing out to come and see this band.
That's
That's
sweet.
sick. We haven't
Yep.
seen shit like that in a while.
Yep. That's sick.
Yeah, I think it's super cool.
Very cool. I
Yeah.
gotta do a deeper dive on them. I think I saw a couple videos, but I don't know too much about them.
Yeah, I've only seen them once, but I really enjoyed their set.
I would really like to see the culture come back of like bands playing at house parties. You know, you go to a house party and there's like a band rocking inside like an old
Yeah,
dumpy
bro.
college house or
Some of
something.
my absolute favorite memories in life are playing packed out, sweaty, disgusting house shows. Yeah,
God, that sounds like such a fun time.
you end up soaked in beer. It's a great time.
We need that. Maybe we put together a college house party tour.
Yeah. Thinking about myself at this age, just being like, "Hey, everybody,
How's everybody feeling? Have you guys
I gotta
tapped the
step
keg?
outside and call my wife."
I'd be like, you fucking fraud.
Yeah,
Oh my god, no, we
yeah.
probably will not do a college house party tour. I think our window for opportunity of doing that we may have missed that a couple years ago.
I went to. I mean, it is worth saying that we had quite a good time for the first album that I ever mixed for you, the Butterfly album, which a lot of your fans may not even know about.
Yeah.
First, I've mixed 3 albums for Adam now, and the first one that I ever mixed was called Butterfly, and I mixed it in my old manager's backyard in Northridge, California, in the Valley, and then came home for the album release party at your old college house. And that was quite an eventful evening, if you recall.
It was quite an eventful evening.
That was
Quite
pretty
an
sick.
eventful evening.
There were some flubs on the evening. I got a pistol pulled on me, which is super fun.
Yeah, you did. Pat got a gun pulled on him at the Adam Yokum release party.
And I got surrounded by a wall of rappers that were like, basically, I wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah.
Which was very kind of everyone who did that.
Yeah.
Very kind of everybody. But no, that night was sick because you had so many people there that were just like friends of yours from the college. I think you definitely had some strays just kind of pop in because it was a Friday or Saturday night. You'll have that in Morgantown when there's shit going on in the house. But yeah, you performed those songs with just like a basic like PA system. Was Raycraft there handling that?
No, I think we just hooked it up with like a big
did you?
speaker mic.
There you
Yeah.
go, yeah. But you had everybody in there because like the California video was out already, right?
No,
No,
Uh-uh.
everybody knew that song in there though that day. I do
That was
recall
just
that.
because we had been like just teasing it in the friend group
Yeah,
for like
playing
months
it a lot.
before that. Yeah, playing it a lot.
Stuff like that's a really special, like unique vibe. I mean, dude, like look at the All American Rejects, what they did last summer. They just went on like a random tour and they would play house parties. They were playing Sheets parking lots. Like
Yeah, that's
they
right.
were doing like I came across this article the other day talking about like porch fests. Like somebody had written this think piece on Porch Fest, which I didn't realize were culturally that relevant. I didn't think that these things were happening enough to where like all these people could write about their experiences with them. But anyway, people were having like neighborhood porch fests where they literally just have like whoever wants to come through and set their stuff up, play music, and people kind of hop from house to house, or maybe it's just one place that has like a bunch of different acts throughout the day or whatever. But something like that would be cool. I mean, I feel like there's a way for us to set something like that up if we wanted to, and not make it just like college exclusive. We could make it like a big open thing. Like, I don't know. Well, I mean, we don't need to get into the planning phase for a hypothetical event on here, but there's definitely some cool shit that could be done with that.
There is a lot of cool shit that could be done with that. And I was talking to Dylan a couple days ago in general about like the more that we have a touring audience that grows, the more that we can hit the road and people come out to shows.
Yeah.
I would like to do more with that than just your everyday like tour, we go play a show and then it's whatever. I want to do shit like that. I want to do like a almost like a traveling festival or whatever. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna play in the porches or whatever. Um it just goes back to the same convo we just had about being unique in the fog of everything that's going on. Like everyone else, every other artist is just pulling up and playing a show at the venue and then leaving. If we can find a way to pull up to fucking Michael's front porch and hook
Yeah.
up and you know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
just giving people a unique experience, and if you can still monetize it and make it a worthwhile for you being a businessman as well, then I wanna do shit like that to the maximum. But I like the porch fest idea or some sort of lodge fest. We'll do a lodge
Well,
fest.
Lodge Fest could be cool. Lodge Fest could be
Yeah,
real cool. We'll
yeah,
get the
lodge
bros out to
fest.
travel exclusively in Crockett County, Texas.
Dude, holy shit. The Crockett County Lodge Fest.
When I die, bury me in Crockett County,
Up there on the hill under the
where there's no
stars.
fucking Wi-Fi.
God.
Uh,
Well, Pat, should we wrap this up here?
let's wrap her up, bud.
We're coming up on, I think, around 45 minutes here. So appreciate you coming on here and having a good convo. We'll definitely do this. Definitely do this more. This is
Yeah,
a
man. Thank you for
good
having me on.
good
Next
first
time,
time
next time,
episode with you.
hopefully Dylan can open up a little sliver of his schedule, so that way he can talk to both of us.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get Dylan to open up just a tiny window, even if he just jumps in here for 5 minutes,
God,
if we can
just
just get
5.
5 minutes.
God, I'd
Busy
love
guy,
5 minutes.
busy guy. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of the Soundcheck podcast. Y'all have
Follow
a
me
good
on
one.
Instagram at Pat Mixed It. Adam, I'll
Yep.
see you tomorrow, buddy.
See you tomorrow, brother. All right.